You don't lose your independence all at once. It slips away quietly, in moments so small you barely notice them happening. The day you stop going for your evening walk because it feels like too much effort. The day you choose the chair instead of the door. The day someone else starts saying, "Co, don't worry, I'll handle that for you." And you let them. I'm 102 years old, and I'm going to tell you something most people don't realize until it's too late. You don't become dependent because you're old. You become dependent because you slowly stop doing the things that kept you independent. I've buried friends who were stronger than me, smarter than me, healthier than me, and yet they lost control of their lives years before they lost their bodies, not because they had to, but because they believed they had no other option. It always starts the same way. A conversation at the kitchen table, a soft voice, careful words. "We're just worried about you. We want you to be safe. Maybe it's time to think about other options." It sounds loving, and sometimes it is. But if you're not careful, that moment becomes the beginning of the end of your independence. I had a friend named Eleanor. She was 86 when her children convinced her to move into a care facility, not because she was helpless, because she had one fall. Just one. At first, she told me it wasn't so bad. Meals were prepared. Someone cleaned her room. There were people around. She said it felt easier, but a few months later, something changed. She stopped choosing what time to wake up. She stopped deciding when to go outside. She stopped cooking, stopped moving, stopped thinking for herself. And the worst part, she didn't even realize it was happening. The body follows the mind. And when you give up control of your decisions, your body slowly follows. Now listen carefully. I'm not here to tell you to reject help. That would be foolish. Every single one of us, if we live long enough, will need help. That's not weakness. That's life. But there's a difference between getting help and giving up control. Most people wait too long to think about this. They ignore the small warning signs, the stiffness in the morning, the hesitation on the stairs, the moment of imbalance in the shower, and because they wait, the decision gets made for them. So let me give you something most people never get. Options. Real options. First, shared living. Not a facility, not a hospital, a home, a small group of people, your age, your pace, your lifestyle, each with your own private space, but sharing responsibilities, sharing costs, and most importantly, sharing independence. You can hire help together if needed. Cooking, cleaning, even basic care, but no one is in charge of your life. You are not a patient. You are still a person with a voice. Second, controlled support. This is where most people misunderstand things. They think help means handing over everything. It doesn't. You can bring someone in for a few hours a day, just enough to handle what you can't, not your entire life. Maybe they cook, maybe they clean, maybe they help you move safely. But when they leave, your life is still yours. You decide your schedule. You decide your routine. You decide how you live. Third, prepare early. This one is the hardest because it requires honesty. If your home is too big, too difficult, too dangerous, you need to admit it before life forces you to. Most people don't move until something goes wrong, a fall, an injury, a hospital visit. And once that happens, the choices become very limited. But if you act early, you stay in control. You choose where you go. You choose how you live. Now let me say something that might make you uncomfortable. If you are sitting for most of your day, if you avoid movement, if you eat whatever is easiest instead of what your body needs, then you are quietly giving up your future independence, not because you're aging, but because you're preparing your body to fail. Your body was built to move, and the moment you stop using it, it begins to shut down. You don't need a gym. You don't need anything complicated. Stand up. Walk a little further than yesterday. Drink water. Eat real food. These small decisions determine whether you stay in control or slowly lose it. Because once people begin to see you as incapable, they stop asking what you want. I'm 102. I still make my own decisions, not because I'm special, but because I refuse to give that up when it mattered. One day, someone will sit you down. They'll speak gently. They'll tell you it's for your own good, and maybe part of it will be. But don't let that be the moment you stop thinking for yourself. Plan now, while your mind is clear, while your body still listens, because later feels closer than you think. Now pause. Stand up for a moment, take a deep breath, drink a glass of water, and ask yourself honestly, am I building a life I control or one that will be controlled for me?